I quit gaming. But does that mean you should?
I've been playing games for as long as I can remember. I mean, I still remember playing on my Game Boy Advance, running Pokemon Fire Red, and that was 20 years ago. Jesus. Following all that, I played Halo on the Xbox. Then I moved on to some Flash games and had an addiction on that. Played CSGO, League of Legends, Call of Duty, and then I got my first PC. And holy I was thrusted into this new world of gaming that I had just never known before. Gone were the days of PowerPoint presentation gaming on my MacBook Pro, and in was this new beautiful 60 FPS gaming. There's no way I'd quit any of this, I said. I remember the electric feeling that I get when a new game launched and being a part of that culture that I had once took a back seat in, watching other YouTubers play. I remember when Nier Automata released for the first time, and I had never heard of Nier or the series before this, but I thought it looked cool, so I decided to buy it. And it was fantastic. I remember pacing about in the game, taking my time to just appreciate all the little minute details Square Enix left in the game. Like when your character would stand still and just interact with the environment in some way, whether that be just looking over an edge or simply playing with your hair. I don't know why, but it was just something I never forgot. And the games that I've played over the years are just full of these sweet memories. And that's not even mentioning all the friends that I've been able to make along the way. But I quit. So what gives? Did addiction take over? Did I get too busy? Or did I just get bored? Actually, after a lot of thinking, I don't think it was any of those. You know, it's been over a month now since I stopped playing games, and I asked myself this question: do I think games are boring? And my answer is always no. And I asked myself, do I think games are fun? And the answer is yes. Well, for the longest time, I wasn't sure why I was feeling the way I did when I sit down and play some games. For most people, it should be relaxing or at the very least fun, but it wasn't any of those at the time. But if I could describe it in one word, it would probably be guilt. I buy a new game on Steam, I'd be excited to play it, I launch the game, I run it for 20 minutes, and then this slow sinking feeling in my stomach starts to emerge, and then I close the game. Like, it always happened. It was just so frustrating. But games never stopped being fun. In those 20 minutes that I played, it was fun. But just something in my head or in my stomach just told me that I couldn't play, that I didn't deserve to be at the table. And I just felt always like stressed when I was playing, which is so weird because I was having fun, but I was stressed. And then I was able to realize that something in the back of my mind was telling me that gaming was wrong, that there was always something more productive to do, something more useful to do in society, which in all fairness, I feel like a lot of us feel and strive to do. Like, I don't imagine playing League of Legends for 12 hours a day is going to impress your girlfriend or yourself. But to be fair, I wasn't even doing any of that. I was playing maybe at most like 1 or 2 hours a day, or sometimes I wouldn't play at all. So now I'm just left wondering what the hell happened. Why did I even quit in the first place? And this feeling of guilt just kept persisting. It got to the point where I couldn't even play for more than 5 minutes before I just quit the game. It was so that bad. So that's why last month I quit, because I thought if I placed some distance between me and the games, then maybe something could fix itself. Or at the very least, maybe I could figure out what was going on. But it didn't do anything. In fact, I was left even more confused and frustrated than I was before, because I was still feeling guilty about relaxing even though I was doing other things. In the end, it was just all the same feelings. Again, I'd come home, I'd watch YouTube or Netflix just to relax, and I'd just close it after 5 minutes because I felt too guilty. Bruh. So what did quitting gaming even do? You might be wondering. Well, I noticed when I deleted everything, nothing really changed immediately. It wasn't like I had this like itch to play gaming all the time. Like, it wasn't ever that. I mean, I was barely playing games up to this point anyway. So when I did commit, it just felt really underwhelming. And for each passing day that I wasn't playing any games, I still felt pretty much the same. And yeah, I've had some moments where I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to play this game. Like Expedition 33, for example. I really want to play that game, but can't play that game. But besides moderately missing games like FF14, my baby, I didn't really think much of quitting. I just replaced my hobbies with another hobby and still felt just as And so when I thought about it more, the more I realized that it probably was never gaming to begin with in specific. In fact, I'm pretty sure there are more TikTok gremlins out there that have watched more TikToks in 1 week than I have played games in 6 months. So if I wasn't addicted to games like I thought it was, then what the hell is the problem? It's not like I have anything to feel guilty about. You see, I'm the type of person person that worries a lot. So when there's a thing that I gotta do, I do it. You know, when I get an assignment that's due on the 30th and it's the 1st, I'm getting that done on the 2nd. Like, no matter the task, if it needs to get done, I do it. So it's not like I'm a hyper procrastination machine or something. It's actually when these obligations leave my space that I feel really uncomfortable. It's like this feeling where I had to do something. I had to work. I had to get something done. Like, it always felt like that. I don't know, maybe I was addicted to result, or I don't know, maybe I was afraid of falling behind or something. So if I wasn't just being a monkey and playing games 24/7, then what is the problem? Well, I couldn't really put my finger on it at the time. All I knew at the time was I had to be productive, and some people might bring up toxic productivity, and yeah, it had something to do with that, but I think it was more than that. Toxic productivity describes what I was going through, and I'm pretty sure what I was going through was that, but that just puts a definition on it. It describes what I was doing, but it didn't tell me why I was feeling that way. Why was I so toxically productive? You know what I mean? Like, I knew you had to be productive. We all have to be productive sometimes to get done. I also recognize that taking breaks is just as important. We all know that. You know, big old LeBron doesn't play basketball when he goes to bed. You know, goats gotta take their breaks too. Yeah, and yet I was still feeling hella guilty when I was taking a break when I needed it. And then one day I was in line waiting for Wingstop for 2 hours, and I was watching this documentary while I was waiting. And then there was this guy. Okay, I know it sounds random, but I promise you there's a point. But basically, in the documentary, he mentions that despite what YouTubers or TikTok influencers will tell you, we will never be wealthy in our generation, and that we should be happy with what we have. He basically talks about how there's a problem with online influencers selling you a dream that really leads to very little benefits, but a whole lot of your sacrifice. Like, I realized I was a part of a cycle where it was just chase, 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 and that like nothing was ever good enough. Like, wake up at 4 a.m., gym at 5 a.m., build a spaceship at 6 a.m., build the iPhone 17, and like, for what? Like, I know what I just said was ridiculous, but it wasn't really far off from how I really thought. And then so I started to realize that the reason why I was feeling so stressed when I played games was because I was brainwashed into thinking that life is all about grinding until you evaporate. That every single minute, that every single second had to be in the name of this sold idea of success online. That's when I started to realize that I went about this all wrong. I'd play games which weren't necessarily a part of my goals, and that made me feel like the biggest bum on the planet, which is obviously really horrible, right? And isn't that crazy? Like, just replace gaming with any other type of hobby and it would sound crazy, but for some reason gaming gets a bad rap. And after all that, I started to apply what I learned, and slowly but surely things started to become enjoyable again. Even the grind, drawing, learning Japanese, working out, all of this suddenly just started to become fun again. And that's when I realized that quitting gaming was never going to do anything for me. So should you quit gaming? Is gaming even that bad? Well, it depends. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with gaming. And like with anything, in moderation. If you genuinely find it fun to play with your friends, or you think a story is great, then I think gaming does have value. I think there's a lot of value in learning how to relax and allowing yourself to simply be. I mean, if gaming in moderation is so important, then I think the same can be said about being productive. I mean, if you can't even moderate your own productivity, then I find it a little bit funny people somehow blame our pastimes as that reason for our lack of moderation. In any case, disagree with me or don't, I don't think games are inherently bad. Now, this isn't an excuse for those that genuinely struggle with gaming addictions. Like, if you're sitting here listening to me and you think to yourself, oh, maybe playing 14 hours of Valorant isn't that bad. No, look, my problem wasn't addiction. Like I said before, I wasn't even playing for 1 to 2 hours a day. And some days I wouldn't even play at all. And I didn't even feel all that much when I deleted all my games anyway. And so if you do struggle with a gaming addiction, which I find people don't take seriously at all, then yes, I do believe there is value in quitting games, or at least putting some distance between you and gaming so that you can function in life. So what am I gonna do? Well, I deleted 1.5 terabytes of games, and I live in Australia, so but I think I'm gonna start playing games again after I put out this video. I'm excited to play again, and I'll probably stream all those games over on my Twitch. Link down below if you are interested. I love sharing my reactions and my experiences in gaming with you guys, so it'd be really cool if I had more people to share that with. Anywho, I hope you guys were able to decide whether or not quitting games is for you, and I want to thank Min, my friend, who inspired me to make this video. I was having lunch with him one day and I told him about how I quit gaming, and he told me I should make a video on it, and so I did. So let me know in the comments down below if you ever felt the way I did, or if you're struggling with a gaming addiction, or if you've been thinking about quitting games. I'd really love to know. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a really good day. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till next time, bye bye.